headlines of this hour on VTV News. Prime Minister asks for solutions to step up public investment disbursement. In Vietnam, Coast Guard serves as protective shield for fishermen at sea. In our world news, Republican Party nominates Donald Trump as 2024 presidential nominee.
Broadcasting from Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam. VTV News starts right now.
Good afternoon. It is 3 p.m. local time and you're tuning in to VTV News. I'm Huyen Tan with the top stories. On Tuesday, Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh chaired the National Online Conference of the Government Standing Committee on Accelerating Public Investment in 2024. More to follow.
According to the conference's report, from the beginning of the year until June 30th, the disbursement of state budget capital had reached nearly $7.9 billion, 29.39% of the plan assigned by the Prime Minister. Many ministries, central and local agencies have proactively and drastically implemented tasks and solutions to accelerate the disbursement of public investment capital. Addressing the event, Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh acknowledged and praised the ministries, agencies, and localities that have achieved good outcomes in public investment capital disbursement. In addition, the Prime Minister also criticized 33 ministries, central agencies, and 28 localities that have not performed well in disbursing public investment capital. After highlighting the shortcomings and lessons learned, the Prime Minister assigned upcoming tasks to ministries, branches, and localities, while emphasizing 5 key determinations to accelerate public investment disbursement. The government leader underscored the spirit of 5 guarantees, which involve ensuring essential materials and conditions for projects, ensuring human resources, resettlement work, proper management, and avoiding prolonged capital increases that cause loss of state funds.
Many manufacturing enterprises expect strong growth towards the end of the year, as there are now many stable orders until October and November. Most textile and garment enterprises have sufficient orders until the end of the third quarter of this year, and they are still negotiating for peak season contracts, which are around Christmas and Tet. Meanwhile, the Vietnam Leather, Footwear and Handbag Association stated that enterprises are continuously recruiting workers to accelerate production progress. The footwear industry continues to focus on 5 major export markets. Among these, the U.S. holds the largest share at around 35%, followed by the EU, Japan, and South Korea. Savings account interest rates have been rising over the past 3 months. As a result, deposit interest rates of 6% per year and higher for individual customers have become more prevalent. Since the beginning of July, 10 commercial banks have announced hikes in saving interest rates for individual customers. Currently, interest rates at joint stock commercial banks fluctuate between 6% and 6.1% per year. State-owned commercial banks still offer rates below 5% per annum. Meanwhile, lending rates remain low. The Vietnamese economy in the first 6 months of this year has shown positive results. However, experts predict that from now until the end of the year, there will be many challenges. So it is necessary to create motivation for higher results at the end of the year. More in the following story.
So far this year, many leading technology corporations have come to Vietnam as the system of attracting policies is gradually being improved. The Ministry of Planning and Investment has coordinated to research, develop and submit the developing human resources in the semiconductor industry until 2030, with a vision to 2050 project to the Prime Minister.
We have actively exchanged and attracted large technology corporations in the world. The government focuses on attracting semiconductor technology and artificial intelligence industries, as well as developing a network of experts for this field. Achieving a higher growth target by the end of the year will require huge efforts.
With a large contribution from FDI capital and public investment disbursement achieving good results, the growth rate in the first half of the year has been positive. To achieve the whole year target of 6.5%, the average quarterly GDP increase in the remaining quarters must be at 6.3 to 6.4%. This is feasible as the economy has good growth momentum.
Solutions from now until the end of the year also require more thorough and detailed research. We will advise and recommend specific recommendations for the government to boost local development. Public investment must still be escalated to encourage private investment sources. Promoting production, business and imports is also a driving force for the economy.
The Ministry of Planning and Investment has developed many projects, reports, and recommendations to solve difficulties and make the most of the country's development opportunities. Achieving a higher growth target by the end of the year will require huge efforts.
The tax industry's report shows that after more than 1 year of implementing the electronic invoice management application, the value-added tax from additional declarations reached nearly $75 million last year. The app not only sends warning information to taxpayers, but also provides a list to review when there is an inappropriate purchase and a sale value of goods and services. This app has become an efficient tool for tax management, preventing fraud in the use of e-invoices.
This stationery store imports and sells a large number of goods monthly. Since the store owner started using the e-invoice management app, she has found it much more convenient and time-saving to manage daily invoices and conduct periodic value-added tax declarations.
Owners of household businesses play both the role of seller and buyer. So, when being warned of the use of e-invoices, we will coordinate with the tax authorities to check if these invoices violate the law. If so, we will correct them right away.
In addition, this app updates and notifies taxpayers about the list of buyers and sellers subject to warnings when using e-invoices. This helps users avoid violations related to taxes and invoices.
This has helped other businesses promptly detect, adjust and handle VAT invoices to avoid accidentally committing tax laws violations.
For tax authorities, this is an efficient tool to help control invoices issued by taxpayer during sales transaction. Secondly, through the early warning function on the e-invoice app, it has helped tax officials identify early risks in the process of using taxpayers' invoices.
Statistics from the tax sector show that by June, tax authorities had received and processed nearly 7.8 billion e-invoices. To date, nearly 60,000 businesses nationwide have registered to use e-invoices generated from cash registers. Promoting digitalization in this field will help make tax management processes transparent and handle large volumes of e-invoice data.
Vietnam's first radar satellite, Lotus AT1, will be launched into space in early 2025. Preparations are currently being finalized by the Vietnam Space Center in collaboration with Japan. Lotus AT1 weighs 600 kilograms and is the latest radar technology satellite, offering a wide set of skills, such as detecting objects as small as 1 meter on the ground and providing day and night observation capabilities. Lotus AT1 will capture images and provide accurate information to mitigate the impacts of natural disasters, climate change, resource management, and environmental monitoring. Unlike optical satellites, radar satellites can capture images under all weather conditions, even in cloudy, foggy, and low light conditions. The data provided by this satellite will be valuable to Vietnam, particularly in cloudy climate conditions. Now, before we move on to other important updates, let's take a look at the foreign exchange rates of today, July 16. Coming up next on VTV News. Vietnam Coast Guard serves as a protective shield for fishermen at sea. And Lâm Đồng avocado farm tours charm tourists from near and far. Welcome back to VTV News. Now, the tropical low-pressure system has weakened into a low-pressure area over the sea from Quảng Trị to Da Nang as of Tuesday morning and is expected to dissipate. However, heavy rain is still forecast in the northern and central regions, posing a potential risk of landslides. The risk of rock and soil landslides in the northern and central mountainous regions remains high due to ongoing rainfall expected on Tuesday and Wednesday. Rainfall amounts range from 50 to 100 millimeters, locally exceeding 200 millimeters. Continuous rain has weakened soil structures, making them vulnerable to collapse at any time. People living on hill slopes or at the foot of the mountains are warned to watch for signs of landslides, such as cracks appearing on house walls or around homes, and to evacuate immediately if it becomes unsafe. They are also advised against traveling on roads that have already experienced landslides, especially at night, and on roads with water seeping or rocks falling from a slope. In recent years, the Vietnam Coast Guard has made great efforts to fulfill their missions in natural disaster prevention and search and rescue operations. In addition to protecting national sovereignty and maintaining security, order, and safety on islands and seas, the Vietnam Coast Guard has showcased its strong capabilities in search and rescue and criminal prevention and control. Let's find out how they have carried out their task in the past 10 years.
When these fishermen were in danger at sea, Coast Guard Region 2 deployed naval soldiers and officers to rescue their distressed fishing vessel.
I thought I would die if the vessel capsized. At that time, I couldn't contact anyone due to heavy rains and strong winds at sea. Luckily, the naval soldier rescued all crew members.
We know that fishermen and their families always need our help.
In the past 10 years, the Vietnam Coast Guard, in collaboration with other military forces, has deployed nearly 10,000 officers and soldiers to support nearly 270 search and rescue operations at sea. About 100 fishing vessels and more than 1,600 people have been rescued so far. The Vietnam Coast Guard has played a key role in law enforcement and the protection of national security, order, and safety at sea.
Search and rescue activities are among the most important missions of the Vietnam Coast Guard in peacetime. We have provided naval soldiers with regular training to sharpen their practical capabilities. In addition, we have strengthened international cooperation in search and rescue activities through exchanging and sharing experiences with other countries.
With hard work and strong determination, the Vietnam Coast Guard has significantly contributed to the development of the marine economy and ensured marine defense and security. Importantly, the military force has become a protective shield for fishermen in any situation.
Hanoi has launched a new mobile app designed to connect citizens with all levels of government. The digital citizen platform iHanoi is expected to become a quick and convenient app that facilitates online interactions between citizens, businesses, and local authorities. While providing utilities in diverse fields like transportation, healthcare, education, and the environment, the app also aims to create a green and a smart city in the future.
After Hanoi authorities issued official telegram number 5, all officers in the People's Committee of Hang Da Ward installed iHanoi. The app provides information in various areas, such as the lives of local residents, business activities, transportation, healthcare, education, and the environment.
Thanks to this app, we can track violations of traffic rules and environmental sanitation. The app also provides traffic information, allowing us to detect congestion and mobilize forces to regulate traffic flow.
All residents in the capital city are required to install the app by September 15th. To assist with the installation, officers and young volunteers visit every household in Hang Da Ward to provide instructions.
Your concerns have been sent to local authorities and are waiting to be processed via this app.
I find the app very convenient. The app provides me with information about healthcare, traffic, and education. Offers live traffic data to help users avoid congestion and choose the most efficient routes. In addition, I can send my personal concerns to local authorities. I hope my issues will be resolved quickly.
We map out detailed plans to ensure the app runs smoothly and efficiently. Regarding residents' concerns, we order officers to reply and resolve current issues raised by residents as soon as possible.
Local authorities have recorded more than 30,000 user accounts in the past 2 weeks, including those of civil servants and residents in the capital city.
Cần Thơ City held a groundbreaking ceremony to build 100 houses for poor households in a Đông Thuận Commune, Thới Lai district. This event also marks the city's launch of a movement to eliminate temporary and dilapidated houses in the area. By the end of 2023, the city had reduced the number of poor households to 764 and near poor households to 5,888. Among them, many families have deteriorated homes. Currently, the city has started construction and repairs on 72 homes for poor households in the area. In addition to the Poor Support Fund, mobilizing capital to build homes is also aimed at creating sustainable livelihoods and helping poor households escape poverty sustainably. In a village in Cao Bằng province, there are high-rise houses located halfway up the mountain. It's rare to see a scene like this in a mountainous province, and yet this is Na Luang village, a district with great difficulties in Bảo Lạc. Thanks to our national target programs and a social policy capital, most of them have become well-off families.
Halfway up the mountain in Na Luang, replacing the stilt house of Nung people, are high-rise houses. This 4-story house of Sang's family was built thanks to the cultivation of star anise trees. With the government support, he bravely left corn and rice farming to grow this medicinal plant.
Previously, our village was very poor. Thanks to the state's loans, we began selling essential oils and can build big houses like this.
64 out of 74 households in Na Luang now have houses worth thousands of US dollars, like Sang's home. Having just finished building this house, Vivan Sam has planned to build another one for his son. Having more than 10 hectares of land, he continues to borrow around 4,000 US dollars to plant 2,000 more cinnamon trees.
Thanks to the state, trees are planted and houses are built.
Locals focus on planting key crops. With favorable climate and soil conditions, they escaped poverty quickly.
If Cốc Bàng commune has 400 hectares of cinnamon, then Na Luang village accounts for 260 hectares. With the development of specialized areas suitable for each village, locals can escape poverty sustainably.
Some valuable trees are only suitable for certain areas. We find different cultivation methods for the remaining areas.
Instead of the past practice of burning wood to make oil, locals in Na Luang have spent 4,000 US dollars on boilers to do the work. Sang's family earns up to 19,700 US dollars from selling star anise oil. This year, if the government provides grid electricity and completes the roads to the village, his family will buy a car.
The Central Highlands is home to popular avocado varieties. Gardeners not only receive abundant orders, but also welcome many tourists to visit and experience their avocado gardens. Organizing avocado orchard tours is a smart way to increase farmers' income and promote the value of Vietnamese agricultural products.
These days, tourists visiting this avocado farm are guided by the owner to trees bearing ripe, flavorful fruits. Touching the organic avocados with their bare hands, visitors want to learn about the differences between these fruits and the ones they commonly purchase. Tasting avocados picked right from the trees is a worthwhile experience for visitors from near and far.
We love traveling, we love to be in nature, with family, with friends, in a natural farm. I've eaten way too many. I can't stop eating them. They're delicious. Avocados in my country are very expensive.
While visiting this farm, I learned about more types of avocados. Through these tours, more people will learn about scrumptious avocado varieties in Lâm province.
Opening the avocado garden for tourists is a considered sensible choice by the owner. It also allows him to showcase the true value of his high-quality avocados.
I provide agritourism services through my avocado orchard. I want to show the quality and value of properly grown avocados to tourists. For now, those coming here can enjoy tempting dishes made from the fruit, such as avocado smoothies and avocado ice cream.
Boasting an annual output of more than 80,000 tons of avocados, Lâm Đồng province has struggled to find buyers for its fresh avocados in recent years due to a lack of processing and manufacturing factories. Farmers have benefited from running avocado farm tours, making it easier to sell their fruits.
The first Hanoi Lotus Festival 2024 opened at Westlake Creative Cultural Space, honoring the value of the lotus. Theme Colors of Hanoi Lotus, the event offers visitors many lotus-related products and fascinating experiences with lotus. A highlight of the festival was the exhibition space, which displays a precious lotus painting depicting a serene scene by artist Nguyễn Thị Kim Đức. This artwork showcased with over 3,500 pink and white lotus flowers highlights the aesthetic value and beauty of the lotus flower in Vietnamese spiritual life. The festival will run from July 12 to 17th. Coming up next in our world news. Republican Party nominates Donald Trump as 2024 presidential nominee. And EU imposes sanctions on Israeli individuals and entities. Now moving on to our world news, the Republican National Convention kicked off on Monday in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, with the participation of more than 2,400 delegates from 50 states and Washington, D.C. The Republican Party officially nominated former U.S. President Donald Trump as his 2024 presidential nominee. On the opening night, a number of economic topics were discussed. The Republican Party reaffirmed their plans to impose a 10% tariff on goods imported from other countries, cut business tax rates, and increase oil and gas investment. They believe these measures would help reduce the country's inflation. Meanwhile, current policies on developing electric cars and renewable energy will be reviewed. In addition, the Republican Party aims to tackle illegal immigration with tougher measures, including a mass deportation program targeting the millions of illegal migrants already in the country. Former President Trump also chose J.D. Vance, the 39-year-old freshman Ohio senator, as his Republican vice presidential running mate. The European Union, or EU, on Monday announced sanctions against 5 Israeli individuals and 3 entities, describing them as responsible for serious and systematic human rights violations against Palestinians in the West Bank and East Jerusalem. The list included TZAV-9, a group which the EU said had regularly blocked humanitarian aid trucks delivering food, water, and fuel to the Gaza Strip. This group was also listed as sanctioned on the website of the U.S. Treasury Department's Office of Foreign Assets Control. The EU sanctions include an asset freeze and a travel ban to the EU countries. Visitors to Copenhagen who engage in environmentally friendly activities such as litter picking or traveling on a public transport could be rewarded with free food, cultural experiences, and tours as part of a new pilot program. The Pay trial scheme, which runs between July 15th and August 11, involves transforming green actions into currency for cultural experiences.
Visitors who take plastic waste to the National Gallery of Denmark will gain access to a workshop where they can turn it into a piece of art, while those who cycle or take public transport to the city's famous heating plant will be allowed to ski down an artificial ski slope on the building's roof.
Of course, it won't be like a big amount of things we will gain from it here, but it will have a ripple effect, because when people are being inspired to do or make more sustainable actions, hopefully they will take it with them home. So thereby we hope for a ripple effect, that we are not only inspiring the people here, but they will be inspired, go back home. So we affect even more people with it.
We are placed a bit outside of Copenhagen, and usually the tourists are finding themselves in the central of Copenhagen, and we think it's too bad that they don't come out and see hidden gems like this. And we know that this is a small step to a bigger thing, but for us it's more about focusing on it more than what we really get out of it.
The capital's tourist organization said the tasks would make little impact themselves, but they hoped it would encourage people to develop new habits in their homes.
I honestly think it's a great idea. I think if it's something to motivate people to get into more green initiatives, that's great. Copenhagen seems pretty clean anyways. That's one of the first things we noticed coming from the US is way fewer plastics, much more reusable items. So it seems like they're on the right track, and if it increases that more so, that'd be great.
Pay is being viewed by authorities as something of a pilot project, which could be repeated and expanded if successful. This may in future involve rewarding visitors who take the train rather than the plane to get to Copenhagen.
Now let's move on to the weather forecast. And that's all the news we have for this hour. To rewatch our program, you can download our mobile app VTVgo or check out our YouTube channel VTV4Go. Thank you for watching and see you next time.